Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Fox 26 Weather Center. Cutting in here because we have a tornado warning now in effect for the northern parts and northwestern parts of Harris County. So this does include an area from just off to the north of Cypress, basically part of Cypress, back over to Spring and Aldine. So let's get to it. I want to show you what's happening on FoxRad radar right now, where this box here represents the location of the tornado warning. So we're looking at this area from Cypress Rose Hill back over to Charterwood, and if you're watching us from Bammel, North Houston, in that area, this is where we have the warning in effect. So the area that I have highlighted here is the leading edge of a line of thunderstorms. And guys, I don't know if we could take Angel or Clint, could we take Lynx 1 full? That'd be great, but if we can, I want to show here the this velocity product that we can go ahead and click on and get an idea of how fast these winds are blowing. So right now, about 63 mile-per-hour winds is what we're getting indicated, 61 miles per hour, out of this line of thunderstorms that's coming in. So this is moving toward the Charterwood area. Let me zoom in here for you, get you really up to date as close as we can here as to where this is. So let's see, Cypress Fields and back over to, let's get you really, this is Louetta, off to the west of 249 Tomball Parkway. This is showing some signs of rotation. So I want to just take a look at a couple of things here. Let me clear this out. It is moving here to the west, or excuse me, from west to east at about 20 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and loop this here for you so that you can see the direction. So this is actually more than 20. This thing is tearing across the area right now very quickly. As I let this loop, let me go ahead and just read you the text coming from the National Weather Service, because this literally did just come out a moment ago, right before we came on the air. So tornado warning is in effect here for the northwestern parts of Harris County and the southeastern parts of Montgomery County. This is going to be in effect until 3:30 this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Keep in mind, it's the middle of the night here. We don't have the tornado in sight. It's also coming down along with heavy rain. But a tornado possible near Cypress. This is also 8 miles to the southwest of Tomball. It's moving east at 40 miles per hour. So this is radar indicated, and we could take a look here at some of the indications that we have and where it is going. So let me just give you an idea of where this thing is going. So it is moving here at about 40 miles per hour. Go ahead and put a storm track on this, and we are looking at this to move into this area. Let's see, 40 miles per hour. So here's a look at some arrival times here for you. Coles Crossing, moving across the area right now. Now again, this doesn't mean there's a tornado in Coles Crossing. It means that there's potential for a tornado in this area, okay, along with high winds. So Charterwood, about 6 minutes from now. Willowbrook area, about 10 minutes. And then watch out around Spring, possibly about 19 minutes from now. We could have the arrival of this strong thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Also around Bush Intercontinental Airport in about 26 minutes from now. Again, this warning is in effect until 3:30. All of this is a part of a larger system that is moving across the entire area that also has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's a very large area that's under a severe thunderstorm warning here from Sugar Land and Mission Bend area up through the west side of Houston and Memorial, Katy Freeway, Jersey Village, the Woodlands and Conroe, all under this severe thunderstorm warning, and that is in effect until let's see, and that's until 3:15 unless otherwise updated. Yeah, that's in effect until 3:15, but it'll get extended beyond that. Lots of lightning associated with this as well. We've had, let's see, about 102 lightning strikes coming out of this one. We also have the chance for some hail too. So here's the hail indication here, and this purple area, pink area is indicating possible half-inch hail coming out of this system too, from Cypress back up to around Tomball, Stagecoach. This is now just off to the west of the Woodlands and approaching the Conroe area as well. So we have that threat. We also have a threat for some higher winds. So for example, this area here, This is between the Rose Hill area. This is passing Telge Road and Grand Parkway. So we can click on this here, and this is where we do have that tornado warning in effect. And that red area, let me turn off the warning here. The red area is where we have indication, again, radar indication of these high winds, 58 miles per hour or higher. So that is considered severe thunderstorm territory. And this is, again, moving toward the east at about 40 miles per hour. So if we were to just estimate that, you know, it would put us towards spring again in about 20, let's call it about 25 minutes. So, you know, if you're watching us from that area, go ahead and please prepare for that. Again, this isn't a confirmed tornado, but it is a radar indicated tornado. Located right here. Now it looks like the leading edge between Cypress and Tomball, moving toward, let me get you up to date on this. So this is 249 Tomball Parkway around Grand Parkway. Now, as far as being super specific, I want to turn on a different radar imagery so that I can give you guys maybe just the best view possible of where the possible rotation is taking place. So let me go ahead and turn this on. Okay, so according to what I'm seeing here from the closest radar that I have, some of the highest winds that we're seeing are going to be right here around Grand Parkway and 249. See where you see that bright spot there? That's where the radar is indicating the highest winds at the low level. See 74 miles per hour, you see that? So this is Boudreaux Road and Tomball Parkway. Again, we're not guaranteeing that there's a tornado there at that exact spot, but there certainly could be. So if you live there anywhere near the intersection of Grand Parkway, Boudreaux Road, this is a fairly decent sign of rotation there. And then from here, it'll be moving toward this area here around Huffsmith Kerrville Road. Here over the course of the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And so getting real close here, guys. If you live in this area here, we're talking, let's see, Samford Drive here in one of the neighborhoods, Sandy Stream Drive, Taylor's Crossing. So we're up here in that Taylor's Crossing area. Let me go ahead and click off of this and give you another idea of seeing some of the wind speeds that we have here. Looks like maybe the signs of rotation are calming down a little bit. Let me see. No, it's still, sure, Angel, thank you. So, yeah, again, Grand Parkway, this is where we have the highest indication of the high winds. So this would be, you know, 58 miles per hour. And then the thing is over here, so in between these two areas, this is the deal here, guys. Again, Grand Parkway, Tomball Parkway, Grand Parkway, Tomball Parkway. This is where we have that indication of, pardon me, of the rotation here that could be producing some high winds. So this is the general area right here. So we have winds going this way, we have winds going this way, and so in between as I can get here for you. So here we go. Here's another view. So this is really, you see those bright colors that are showing up? That's an example, or that's, excuse me, an indication of high winds. And so let me just show you some of that. So again, we're talking about this area actually just west of the Woodlands down to Tomball. And if you're watching us from the Charterwood area, this is going to be blowing through with some very high winds. So Cypress Fields to Charterwood, radar indicated. This is basically how fast the rain droplets are moving, about 60 miles per hour. And let me switch this to another radar that's just a little bit closer. It might look slightly messier, but it's going to be as close as I can get to the system. So here we go. It's a much higher resolution view, because the thing is, it's passing right over this radar in Tomball, where we're going to be seeing some high winds. So for example, here, again, this is the Champion Forest area here, by the way, guys, right now, where we have, I know 37 miles per hour doesn't sound like much, but when it's, indicated next to an area where the winds are moving slower, then that could be a sign of some rotation. So let me go ahead and switch this once again here and just bring us back to just regular old radar. and give you an idea of the movement of this thing. So let me go ahead and turn on. This is a 30-minute loop, and I don't want to focus, exclusively on that area there in the Tomball Champion Forest area, because we also do have some very ugly weather passing through Willis and Conroe. This is an area that is going to be getting in here. You guys are in for about 30 minutes of really heavy rain and some high winds there as well, and you are under also a severe thunderstorm warning for the Conroe area. This one is set to expire at 3:15 here in about 2 minutes. However, it'll probably get extended beyond that. So watch out for areas over there around Grangerland too. So Willis down to Conroe and the Woodlands. In fact, if you're watching us from the Woodlands right now and the wind hasn't kicked in, give it a minute. It's about to definitely go downhill over there in the Woodlands with some of the high winds moving into the area. Here's another look at some of the just the leading edge. This is like more high resolution imagery of some of the leading edge of the rain moving into the Woodlands. Let me turn this on a different radar view here again. Coles Alden Bridge section of the Woodlands down to Indian Springs, Creekside Park, the Preserve, and Grogan's Mill, all about to get some of that heavy rain rolling in. And then here, I know this looks messy, but it's the I guess the street level mapping that we really want to get to. And this is right here around Louetta, Cypresswood, Stubner Airline, Kirkendall. This is the leading edge of some of the high winds and the associated tornado warning that we have in effect here for you. So this tornado warning is still in effect for about another 15 minutes. Go ahead and stop the loop here for you. So if you're back here around Cypress Ridge or Cypress, okay, so yeah, we're taking out kind of this lightning show here that's going on. But if you're out around Cypress and Cypress Ridge, it does look like the tornado threat is sort of past your area right now. And what's coming in behind it will be still some high winds, but not as much of that rotation threat. It looks like, if anything, the areas really that concern me the most are going to be if you're watching us from the Klein area and the Charterwood area. So again, just to get you oriented, right now this yellow line in the middle of the road is going to be 249 Tomball Parkway. And this is now progressing here pretty quickly off toward the east. And let me once again give you an idea of some of the arrival times of this general line here, which represents the high winds. So we're talking about the Northampton neighborhood about 2 minutes from now. In Spring, 10 minutes. Bush Airport about 14 minutes from now, and could make it over to Humble in about 20 minutes as well. Let me go ahead and put this in motion here for you, because I just want you to get an idea of how fast this is moving. And again, we're paying attention to those bright colors, the bright green, the bright blue. That's where we're going to have those winds of about maybe 60, 70 miles per hour. And right there around Bainbridge Estates, that's where there is somewhat of an indication of a rotation, which has prompted this tornado warning that we have in effect. There are another couple of areas here that are showing some signs of rotation too that concern me a little bit, maybe more than a little bit here. No warning on this one yet, but I do want to let you know over here, this is the Beltway just north of the Katy Freeway. So those of you who live over here on the west side, so this is going to be out around Clay Road and the Beltway. This is a bit of a sign of either very gusty winds or maybe even some rotation. So a lot of neighborhoods I know down here, this is around the Memorial area in between this Tollway and Highway 6. And let me just give you an idea of what radar's indicating here. I mean, at least at cloud level, those winds are blowing at about 70 miles per hour. So this is Derry Ashford and the Katy Freeway. This is Derry Ashford and Memorial Drive, and now moving toward Kirkwood and Memorial. These are all areas that could be in here for some of these high winds. So 62, 64, 68, 73. Let me go down here to this one here. This is, again, this radar data is kind of just now coming in. So this is Briar Forest and Derry Ashford. No tornado warning for this one, by the way, guys, but just radar indicated, what we call Doppler indicated wind speeds there in that range of 70 miles per hour. And then we still have this strong surge of wind that's moving toward the Bammel, North Houston area also. So let's switch back to this imagery. Try to, you know, sometimes we got to use a lot of different tools here to kind of get a look at what's happening. Just got a new indication here. Okay, yeah, severe thunderstorm warning continues for these areas here until 4 a.m. Okay, so talking to you around Huntsville, New Waverly, Willis, Panorama Village, Conroe, Woodlock, Cochran's Crossing, the Woodlands, severe thunderstorm warning until 4 a.m. We also have this new, okay, so this is a brand new now, severe thunderstorm warning that includes Harris County, and that's also in effect until 4. So this is for Atascocita, for Aldine, for the entire, basically the entirety of the city of Houston, basically. Back over to Pasadena and Deer Park. I know if you're watching this from Channel View, Pasadena, Deer Park, the weather's fine now, but if you give it another 30 minutes or so, this whole mess is moving at about 40 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and just sort of draw a line, give you an idea of what to expect. Let's see, it's moving at about 40. Let's just estimate there. So we're looking for the high winds to arrive in Richmond basically now and moving into the spring area within the next minute or two. Also West Chase, about 4 minutes. New Territory, about 5 minutes from now. Bunker Hill Village, also within the next, let's give or take 5 minutes. Hedwig Village, Piney Point Village, within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And all of this, what we're talking about is the potential for high winds. So let me read you the latest text here that just came down from the National Weather Service on this one, because like I said, this literally just came out a moment ago. So we're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 7. The severe thunderstorm warning here. Okay, so there's a ton of counties included in this, guys. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 4 a.m. Clean this up a little bit here for you. I know it's a lot to look at. And I'll put this into motion. So this is the last 30 minutes. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for east central Wharton County, for northwestern Galveston County. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the brand new one that just came out. A little sliver of Galveston County. Just about all of Fort Bend, southeastern part of Montgomery County, even parts of Chambers County, north central Brazoria, southwestern Liberty County, and all of Harris County. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line here. This is the line starts right in Spring, I-45, North Freeway, right around that Harris County and Montgomery County line, and progresses all the way down past the west side of Houston into Sugar Land and then down to Needville. So all of these areas could receive wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, and also some hail is possible as well. So, you know, don't head out into this because of the risk for high winds and hail. We also could at any moment see a very short-lived spin up of maybe a small, short-lived tornado, even though there's not a warning in effect down there around Needville. I want you guys to kind of stay put, take cover in the Needville area. Like I said, there's no tornado warning that's in effect right here for Needville, but this little line that's kind of coming in kind of has that signature, sort of radar signature notch in it that could indicate some higher wind gusts. Over here around Mission Bend and Sugar Land, we've got some heavy stuff rolling in here. It's going to be lasting for about the next 15-20 minutes. So heavy rain here around the Four Corners area, around Alief, Claudine, west part of Bel Air, heading up here. This is Highway 6 and the Katy Freeway, all along Memorial Drive here, heading in past the Sam Houston Tollway, moving into the Memorial Villages, and now it's actually just now arriving right along Buffalo Bayou there, south of I-10, moving toward downtown Houston. So all of these areas are under that severe thunderstorm watch, or excuse me, severe thunderstorm warning, in effect for until 4 a.m. this morning. This whole thing is moving really quickly. Now the Weather Service says moving east at 25 miles per hour. I suspect it might even have sped up since then. This tornado warning is still in effect here until, let's see, for another 8 minutes. And I want to go ahead and pause this because I know it's really messy to look at when you have warning on top of warning on top of warning. So tornado warning is still in effect until 3:30 a.m. This does include the spring area. And let me go ahead and change imagery here and look at this product, which is our velocity product. So we're looking here where you see the red next to the green. That's the leading edge of what we would call a shear line. And where we have the bright greens, and I'm going to switch this over to my best device here that I can use to detect this. And this is going to be this radar here. So the highest winds here, I want to highlight this here for you. If you live near I-45, the North Freeway, Cypress Forest Lakes. So this is from Cypress Wood Drive down to the Beltway here on the north side of Houston. This is looking to me like it is pretty rough stuff. 74-mile-per-hour indicated winds here in this location. Now this is at cloud level, but this radar that I'm pulling up for you here is the closest to the ground truth that I can get for you. So let me get you some specific streets here. So we're talking about, this is right near the North Freeway. So Cypress Forest Lakes is going to be the subdivision here. Cypress Oaks Drive, actually this is getting ready to cross here, the North Freeway. Heading over toward the east side. So this is Wild Bird Drive, this is Spring Park Center Boulevard, let's just call it here, corner of Cypress Wood and I-45 North Freeway. This is where we have that indication of the highest winds that I can see here, and probably the greatest indication of rotation. Also can't rule out this area here, this little notch here around Hardy Road, in between the Hardy Tollway and I-45 North, let's see, around Lock Ridge and around Cypress Wood is where there's an indication of some rotation there as well. Go ahead and pull this up. So you see where there's that bright kind of purple color showing up, and then also I would say this whole general area. Let me zoom in a little bit more just to make sure that I can get you some more detail. Spring Lakes, so here we go. So Cypress Wood Drive, Hardy Toll Road, down to the FM 1960 around Westfield. This is my area of biggest concern right now. There's sort of a broad area of circulation with winds that are coming in like this around Bush Intercontinental Airport, but then really I think coming down pretty strong right now. They're around FM 1960 and Hardy Toll Road. That's my area of biggest concern right now. The tornado warning is set to expire here unless it's been extended, and I don't think it has. Unless it's been extended. No, it hasn't. So right now that tornado warning is set to expire at 3:30, which is in 4.5 minutes from now. But there are still some indications here from what I'm seeing of at least some high winds. If it isn't necessarily rotation on the ground, at a minimum high winds, with that highest likelihood here happening for neighborhoods along Aldine Westfield. This is right along Hardy Toll Road and FM 1960, headed toward Aldine Westfield. If you are in that area there, along Aldine Westfield, 1960 area, even heading all the way up to Cypress Wood, this is where I think there's the best chance for a rotation. But there are a lot of other spots where we have high winds. Let me just highlight this here for you as well. This is going right through parts of Spring Branch and the Memorial Villages. So this is right around Spring Valley. And we're not going to be able to get exact wind speeds here, but I can give you an estimate of what we could be looking at. So let me go ahead and query this for you. It's probably going to give me something like 53-mile-an-hour winds. Okay, Hunters Creek Village, Spring Valley area, maybe those winds of somewhere in the vicinity of 45 to 55 miles per hour. So that puts us really close in range to severe wind criteria. In addition, we have the large area here where it's not raining yet, but it will be raining soon. So we're talking about there Atascocita, Northeast Houston, downtown Houston, Southeast Houston, Pasadena, and Pearland. If you give this about another 20 minutes, this is going to be moving in your direction as well. So let's loop this and see if we're seeing any indication that anything's getting weaker or stronger. So that area of the possible tornado is really, if you're in that warning area, I kind of think the tornado threat is beginning to diminish, but the threat for high winds is definitely still up there. No doubt it is still up there. And I'm going to, again, use some of my tools to give you the best. We're starting to talk about Aldine back over to Bush Airport right now too. So again, we're looking for those bright colors, the bright green here. Bainbridge Estates, Spring, Bammel. I'm going to put on a different product here. And again, show you those high winds that are indicated here. FM 1960 around Westfield and heading over near Bush Intercontinental Airport, Aldine Westfield Road and FM 1960, indications there of some high winds. I'm going to switch this to a different airport radar just to get a different perspective. I know that looks ugly, but what we're still seeing is that the bright green next to the red, which is not a tornado necessarily, but it does indicate wind shear, which is a sign of high winds. Let me go ahead here and switch this to the that wind product again. So this is moving here. Let me go ahead and loop this. Let me put this on a 15-minute loop so we could just get an idea again of how fast this thing is moving. So this is moving, again, this already has crossed I-45 North Freeway. So that threat for tornado is already, if you're Bammel, North Houston, it's already past your area. If you're in the Westfield area, it's already past your area. It's moving toward Intercontinental. Let's see. I'm not sure how to pronounce that road name, but we're still around Cypress Wood Drive and between the Hardy Tollway and the East Tex. So this is right around Bush Intercontinental Airport where we have high winds that are blowing through right now. In fact, let me go ahead just real quick while you're watching this loop here. And again, we are looking at this area here, north side of Harris County, north side of Houston. I want to pull up the data from Bush Airport and see if I can give you guys an idea of what they're seeing as far as winds in your neighborhood. Let's see, the latest wind, okay, we don't have a wind gust that's come in just yet, but that will be coming in shortly. This warning is set to expire here in 15 seconds. Let's go ahead and see if the National Weather Service extends that. Not sure if they will, because the threat of tornado is kind of moderate right now. Let me see what they're saying. Nope, okay, so the latest from the National Weather Service is we will be letting the tornado warning in Harris County expire at 3:30 a.m., but the severe threat will continue and even the tornado threat will continue. They're going to watch it for any signs of additional maybe increase in rotation, but for right now, this tornado warning has expired. The tornado warning has expired, all right? What I'm showing you right now here real quick, if you're just joining us, here at 3:30, here's the deal. This strong line of red that you're seeing moving toward downtown Houston and by Bush Intercontinental Airport and toward Bel Air, what you're looking at here is a line of high winds. So 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, even up to 60 miles per hour, not impossible. I'm also looking at this area down here. As I mentioned, that tornado warning was in effect near Bush Airport. It has just expired, but also Memorial Villages. You guys are getting hit pretty hard right now. And I would say even, in fact, guys, if there's anybody here at the station that's watching, right, outside, not too far away from us right now, we have this line that's coming in. So this is in the Galleria area. Let me go ahead and pause this and pixel query this. And the radar coming from the Tomball area is kind of shooting this coming from northwest Harris County. The beam is going through there and indicating that the raindrops there at cloud level could be moving as high as 58 miles per hour. Let me look at the Pearland radar looking at this, also indicating 64 miles per hour. So that is severe wind. So I now have two different radars that are showing me this opportunity for seeing some severe wind. This is San Felipe, right there to the west of the 610 loop. This is Richmond, just north of West Park Tollway. This is now making its way right into Westheimer and 610. So right there in the Galleria area, if you're watching us right now, that is where the leading edge of this area of strong winds is coming in. This one is not, does not have a tornado warning associated with it, but it does certainly indicate to me that we have some high winds coming in. I'm going to go ahead and loop this here for you. And again, show you that that tornado warning has been allowed to expire. But we have a very large area that's under the severe thunderstorm warning. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4 a.m. and that does include all of Houston. It includes Humble and Kingwood and Atascocita. It does include Pasadena, although it's probably going to be about another 20 minutes before it makes it over to Pasadena. If you're watching us from Sugar Land, I know it is rocking and rolling where you are right now. You're going to be dealing with that for about another 15 to 20 minutes. It'll keep raining, but the winds should slacken just a little bit. Let me zoom in on this bottom line here for you. I don't want to ignore you down here in Fort Bend County. So watch out around First Colony. I think the worst of the wind has passed you in Telfair and down closer to Richmond and Rosenberg. It's mainly just rain for you guys. But the leading edge of this rain and the area of the highest winds is moving into Missouri City and Stafford right now. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this here for you. So Meadows Place, sort of downtown Missouri City there around 5th Street and Texas Avenue. These are areas that are getting in on some of the high winds. And then if you live in any of these communities here, along Highway 6, so we are talking about First Colony, Riverstone, even Sienna. Let me take a look over here. It's really not too far away from that area. So this long line right here, that's FM 1092, which is also turns into University Boulevard south of Highway 6, and to the north of it, we also have some pretty tough weather heading up toward 59. This is moving so fast, guys, the leading edge of this. So it's slamming into Bel Air right now. Let me turn on the lightning and see what we're looking at lightning-wise. There's not a whole ton of lightning, which is interesting. Where we do have the highest level of lightning down there in Fort Bend County, I would say that's where we have the best chance for seeing hail. I'm going to put on our sort of hail hunter here and see what it's indicating for us. You see, we're hearing some rumbles here at the station as well. We're right at the corner of 610 and 59. So here, let's see, from Sugar Land heading down to central parts of Fort Bend County, and even up here around the Galleria and Bel Air, it's not necessarily that all of these areas have half-inch hail coming down, but there's potential for small hail coming down in these locations. Again, from Needville all the way back up through Sugar Land and Missouri City into the Bel Air and Galleria area, and then most likely off toward the north too. Let me just see what radar's indicating up here. So, and I'm going to investigate that little circulation you see there. That's to the east of Spring as well. But this area still is indicating that we could have some half-inch hail heading up here towards Spring and moving into the Roman Forest area. Let me go ahead and clean this up again, and I want to put on this velocity product. Our power just went out. We're still on the air, guys? I guess we're still on the air. Our power just went out here. We're waiting for the generators to kick in. Okay, we're still on the air. We're waiting for generators to kick in here. So let me just give you an idea again. That line of strong winds just blew right through the Galleria and Greenway Plaza, basically right where we are. And this was what I was just pointing out here on the map, that this whole area here is seeing potential wind gusts of 60, 61, 63 miles per hour moving into Bel Air and West U. And this is moving off toward the east very quickly, something like 30 miles an hour, if not a little bit faster. So that means it will be heading toward the medical center, toward Midtown and those spots here coming up before very long. Go ahead and clear this. Okay, the lights are just trying to come back on in here as our generators kick in. The leading edge of the high winds also includes this area up here, which is going to be the East Tex Freeway at the Beltway. So including Aldine and back up here to those of you in Northeast Houston. So this is East Tex Freeway passing by, let's see, Parkwood Estates and Aldine Bender. And then heading down here to Little York, it also is moving into your area. And I'm going to switch radars here to get another better estimate of wind speeds here for the northern and northeastern part. If you're in Humble right now, all right, Humble and Kingwood, I bet you that you're about to be in for some really high winds, because my best radar product here is indicating 59 miles per hour there. This is FM 1960, and that is 59 the East Tex Freeway. I want to check the CenterPoint Energy outage tracker, and holy Toledo. Hey, newsroom, if you can hear me, we're up to 91,700 customers without power right now. So coming up on 92,000 customers without power. We went from having everybody with power to now almost 100,000 customers without power right now in Harris County. I'm telling you, you know, we kind of, wait, I'm sorry, say that again, please, Angel. We can add us to the list too. Angel's, our director, is exactly right. We are now in an area here in the Greenway Plaza and Galleria area that also is without power. But this is one of my areas of highest concern. Again, this is FM 1960 and the East Tex Freeway. This is where I'm getting indication of the strongest winds. This is not a tornado warned area right now. Wait, hold on. We just got a new tornado. Okay, so this is off toward the north of Houston. It looks like we just got a new tornado warning. All right, there we go, yeah. So those of you watching us from the town of Fostoria, this is off to the west of Cleveland in northern Liberty County. This one is now a warned tornado. So let me go ahead and pull this up here for you. Velocity, and there we go. So you see where that green is meeting the red, and even where our radar tool here is showing that this is called a shear marker over Splendora. So the tornado is not indicated right there, but it's near the tornado. So right now, again, we are looking at a tornado warning until 4 a.m., and this does include San Jacinto County. It includes the northern part of Liberty County as well. Let me go ahead and read this text to you. So tornado warning is in effect until 4 a.m., so that's another 20 minutes. For east central portions of Montgomery County, for southeastern San Jacinto, for the northwestern part of Liberty County, and for parts of Polk County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near North Cleveland and near Cleveland. This one is zipping to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. And so I want to give you an idea of where it could be headed here. It's moving here at a 54 mile per hour wind, so all that getting ready to blow into North Cleveland right now. Next on the list will be Cleveland itself. Back this up. So that's where we have the tornado warning in effect. I don't want to also ignore this area here, because we do have a couple of spots that still concern me, not for tornadoes, but for high winds. So if you live in this community of Riverside Crest, this is Moonshine Hill Road. I must say I've never been there, guys, but Moonshine Hill Road, FM 1960. This is between Humble and Atascocita, and I think the winds here are probably somewhere around 60, so 59 miles per hour. So yeah, you know, give or take about 60 miles per hour there. So that's one area that is moving toward Timber Forest Drive and FM 1960, and then also down here, little bit of a sign of rotation, but a lot more of a sign of some high winds, and this is moving right toward Lake Houston Parkway and the Beltway. So this is the northeast side of Harris County. Some high winds coming down there I want to make sure that you are aware of. And then we also have this area of high winds that's moving right toward 288 and 59. So this does include just up the road from the Med Center. I guess this is technically Med Center and heading toward Midtown. This is Fannin, Main Street, 59, sort of that junction of where I-45 and 288 and 59 meet up near downtown. This is another area here where one radar source here, at least at cloud level, is showing me 61 miles per hour. And then let's see, this is a closer source, is showing 48. 68 mile per hour winds here potentially. This is Herman Park. This is right there in Herman Park. So this is the museum district. And if you are watching us even from 3rd Ward, I would say definitely be aware that there could be some high winds in your area. So this is Crawford Street. This is 288 South Freeway. Let's see, we have Rosedale, Southmore. This is Alameda Road and McGregor. Just looping its way there right across the museum district. These wind speeds are somewhere in the neighborhood of 50, 55 miles per hour. And let's see if I have any other bright spots. I'm looking for anything where you have those bright green colors meeting up against the red colors. So this is Medical Center area, this is downtown Houston, and then also heading up here to around Atascocita. I want to put on a broader view here for you because we still do have this tornado warning in effect. I want to get a check on this here for you. This is moving right by Cleveland right now. This is radar indicated, so it's not a confirmation that there is a tornado on the ground, but there definitely is a fairly strong indication here of a rotation here where the wind speeds are approaching. Let's see, we've got a 41, a 39. I know that doesn't look all that impressive, but the thing is, within there could be a really small spin around Cleveland. So, you know, take cover in the Cleveland area. This doesn't look like a tremendously large, you know, rotation, but look, I think you can all know, you know, any rotation is not something you want to be messing with. So that is right around Cleveland. It's moving quickly here at about, let's see, this one I think was moving at about 40 miles per hour. So let me just put a line on this one and show you that, you know, it's entering, basically these are rural areas of northern Liberty County. If you live in that area, you know what I'm talking about, right? Elsewhere, the severe thunderstorm warning continues with indications of some high winds for Atascocita, for Dogwood Acres, and over here around Dyersdale, the community around Victor. This is one of the spots here, Magnolia Gardens. And oh, by the way, yeah, guys, if you're watching us from Crosby and the Sheldon area, this is a 15-minute loop. So let's see, this thing has moved over the last 15 minutes. It's moved, let's see, from Aldine back over here. So yeah, this thing's moving at about 30 miles per hour. So I want to give you an idea if you're watching us from the Sheldon Crosby area here. Let me just do the leading edge of this, and it's moving in this approximate direction, and it's moving, let's see, around 30, 32 miles per hour. So I don't know why it's not putting my cities there for me. But these are, this is Harris County up there around Crosby and Sheldon. So keep that in mind. It is moving in your general direction. Yeah, so that leading edge there just making its way into, and in fact, you know what? You want to see something? This is a hail signature. These lines here, you see that line right there and that line right there? That indicates that the radar is picking up on hail here in this area. This is going to be Kenwood, Hardy Heights, Calgary Woods, Dyersdale. This is an area where there could be some hail coming down right now. That's just one of those little tricks of the trade kind of things. So if your car is parked outside, you know, I'm sorry to say, you know, it may be experiencing some hail right now. I don't think that necessarily is large hail, but it is definitely a hail indication. All right, so to get you up to speed, if you are just joining us, we have had a couple of rotating thunderstorms. I don't think that we've had a confirmation of any tornadoes. There has been a wind report here. This was from earlier this morning. Same line of thunderstorms, but there was a site in Hempstead that measured a wind gust of 64 miles per hour. And here in this large area from Spring and Atascocita all the way down to Sugar Land, we continue to have the potential for 60 mile per hour winds and some occasional hail. I would say the biggest potential area of hail that I can see is up here in the northern parts of Harris County, up here around Atascocita and northeast Houston. Watch for hail there. This is Sam Houston Tollway and FM 1960 from Dogwood Acres down to Atascocita and getting closer to Beaumont Place. So you're getting wind and the chance for hail there. There also will be heavy rain. So stay off the roadways inside the Beltway, inside the loop actually right now, from the medical center back up through downtown Houston. I mean, this is some pretty rough stuff here around 288 and Fannin and heading back over to, let's see, is it in Edo yet? Not quite there yet, but it is moving in your neck of the woods. But Heights area, the Acres Homes area, heading down here to around Brookhaven. That's where we got the leading edge of the strong lines coming in. And I think the Weather Service here just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. And here we go. So this one includes Brazoria County and goes down to sections of Jackson County and Matagorda County too. So let me read you the latest on that one because that one just came down. Severe thunderstorm warning here for parts of Wharton, Jackson, southeastern Fort Bend County, Brazoria, and Matagorda. This one's in effect until 4:30 a.m. So this one is in effect now for what, another 40 minutes? And this will take it right down to the coastline too. So severe thunderstorms were located along a line from Brazos Bend State Park. So you know where that is. That's down to the south of Missouri City, between Missouri City and Needville, like central Fort Bend County, to near Van Vleck, to near Point Comfort, excuse me. This is moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. Expect 60 mile per hour wind gusts out of this one. So this does include those of you over here in Brazoria County. And I would say, you know, a lot of this stuff is also moving generally toward Iowa Colony and Alvin too, even though you guys are getting rain right now. You haven't had the, you know, super heavy stuff coming in yet, but that is moving in your direction as well. Pearland, Manville, Pasadena, we still have that heavy rain on the way to your area. This whole mess is still moving from west to east, and let me get you, this is a 15-minute loop. I want to get the late, because wind speeds, it can speed up and slow down. I want to get you the latest indication of just how fast it's moving. So it's moving at about, let's see, 24 miles an hour. So let me go ahead and hit pause on this and get you an updated look at storm arrival times, because I want to make sure you know where this leading edge is headed. So here it's moving in this general direction at, we'll call it here about 26 miles per hour. Jacinto City, about 8 minutes from now, 7 minutes from now. Galena Park, about 12 minutes away. Cloverleaf, 14 minutes. Hobby Airport, it's already raining there, but the leading edge of the tougher stuff about 17 minutes away. City of South Houston, I know it's raining where you guys are right now, but the stronger winds and so forth come your way in about 21 minutes. Rain is just getting ready to start in Pasadena, but the higher winds should be coming in about 21 minutes. Channelview 24 minutes, and Dayton about 27 minutes from now. Here's a look. I want to try to clean this up here for you. I'm going to turn off some of the warnings here for a minute so that you can see the bright colors here that indicate where we have some of the strongest winds here in the Houston area. We've had the power go out here at the station here, which is, we're just north of Bel Air, and here in the Galleria area. There's a little lobe here, if you will, of some higher winds that's moving toward let's see, this is, I believe that's Telephone Road. This is the Makawa area heading up toward the 610. This is just south of the 610 South Loop. So we're talking about Belfort Street, Telephone Road, that region. This is Airport Boulevard and Telephone Road. And I just want to put a query here for you just to give you an idea that we could be looking at winds as high as 70 miles per hour moving across Telephone Road and that region there. Let's see, Makawa, Telephone Road, 610 Loop southward. The severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado remains in effect until 4 o'clock. So this is in effect just for another 7 minutes. And the one that we're talking about here is, let me go ahead and clear this. We're talking about this area. Let's see, hold on just a moment here, guys, and put the warning back on. So we are talking about this area that includes Atascocita. You're still under the severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, I want to zoom in on you guys because the Lake Houston communities are about to get hit by heavy rain, potential for winds up to about 60 miles per hour. Hidden Echo, Huffman, all the communities around Lake Houston. If you're watching us from Crosby, give it another 5 minutes. Between the next 5 to 10 minutes, we have some heavy rain moving in along with some high winds. And then all over Houston right now, we're getting hit with high winds and heavy rain. Let me check on your power outages here for you. And folks, we now have just in the CenterPoint Energy area, which includes Harris County and Fort Bend and Brazoria, 140,000, almost 141 customers without power right now. This has to do with high winds and lightning. We're probably going to get an extension to this warning. You're out of the warning, by the way. Good early morning to you if you're watching us from Katy or Cypress. For now, the severe weather threat is gone. So you guys are seeing improving conditions. The areas that are really in the thick of it right now are from Humble and Atascocita down through downtown Houston, the East End, Pasadena, and then progressing down to Missouri City, Fresno, Arcola. This is where we really have heavy stuff coming down. And you know what, where we have this bright coloration here is where I think we could have not only heavy rain, but maybe even some hail. We put on our sort of hail hunter here, if you will. And it is showing here. Now that's not Hobby Airport. I don't know why that comes up, drives me nuts. But this is right around Kirkwood and Willcrest between Highway 6, Highway 90. So this is right there in the heart of Missouri City and Stafford and part of Sugar Land. Watch for some hail coming down there. So if you live in that area, just take cover. Don't head out in this. It's not a tornado even. Down here, this is sort of in rural areas. This is down around the Brazos Bend State Park area, also indications of some hail there. So some periodic areas of hail. All of this is now really enveloping much of the Pasadena Galena Park area too. I want to make sure that I I'm keeping a very close eye on any indication of spinning thunderstorms right now. We don't have any right now, judging from this line, at least in Harris County. A reminder, the tornado warning continues here for another 4 minutes for this area up here in northern Liberty County and southern parts of San Jacinto County. That's the only area that's under a tornado warning right now. The bright greens that you're seeing are areas where there are high winds aloft, and so we're still looking for high winds and heavy rain across much of Harris County, and some of the areas of highest wind speeds are here, Beaumont Place, and right now just tearing into Sheldon and around Crosby and Barrett. Let me get another higher resolution view of the wind speeds here, because here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Another higher resolution look at the wind speeds, and here we go. Like I said, Sheldon, that's where we're seeing those winds probably up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. So where this, there we go, 57 miles per hour, give or take. Some of that mixes down to the ground. Also up here to the north of Crosby, those wind speeds really increasing. Moving into your area. So if you're in Barrett, for example, right now, it's like it's just about to hit. That wind is really about to pick up. If you're in Sheldon, that wind really about to pick up in your neck of the woods. And let's see, let me go down here and find just some other areas so I can keep you apprised of what's happening out there. And sorry, just talking to my director here. Yes, sir. Oh, we can pull up a power outage map. Okay, good. Can we pull that up? Because it's very widespread. So the latest numbers here on the power outages, more than 140,000 customers, more than 140,000 without power. Again, we warned you about this yesterday. That was going to be one of those things, to expect the power to go out, to maybe sleep with a flashlight next to the bed kind of thing. In fact, you know what? As soon as the first opportunity I get, I need to call home, make sure that everybody's okay at the house. this severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire here at 4. And let me see what the latest is. The warning, let's see. The warning here for Harris County is set to expire at 4. I think the Weather Service might move it over and continue the warning, at least for some locations. We also have this area down here moving into Brazoria County that also, you know, has some indications of some high winds potentially with this one too. Hold on just a moment here with me. So this is moving, this is Holiday Lakes, Bonnie, and heading up here in the direction of Manville as well. Lots of lightning here in Fort Bend County. That is an indication sometimes that there's hail in there as well. This is the part that really has flared up that's interesting for me too. This is in Jacinto City, Galena Park, Cloverleaf. This is an area with really heavy rain. Let me turn off the lightning because I know it's obnoxious. So this is Clinton Drive, Federal. Yeah, this is right over there on, you know, the East End area and over around the Ship Channel. So between the East Freeway and 225 there on the east side, that's some heavy stuff coming in. City of South Houston, Pasadena area. This is an area where we probably, I mean, at a minimum we have really heavy rain, but at worst some indications of some high winds. I want to pull up here real quick. I want to be able to show you some rainfall totals because I know that it's probably been pretty prolific here with the rainfall. Let me go ahead and pull this up here because I think we've probably had something like 3 inches of rain coming in so far. Yeah, let me query some of this and look at rainfall because I want to also let you know that there could be some potential for flooding. So here we go here with our accumulation. This is 3-hour rainfall, and we've had somewhere in the vicinity of probably at least 2 inches of rain. So that's like, okay, so 1.4 inches, I mean, that's not crazy. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's come down in a very short amount of time. So I want you to be real careful out there across the city of Houston right now because of that risk for some street flooding taking place. Now, because this whole line has been moving, we don't have any flood-related advisories out there right now. But what we do have is the threat for hail and high winds. Hey, you want to see something neat? I think this could potentially be a hail spike here, which would mean that in this vicinity, around Bel Air or let's see, Alameda Plaza, that would be somewhat of an indication that there's hail located there. Let's see, get you these are locations that have had some hail. So moving into the city of South Houston. Right there, yeah. Remember I was focusing on that just a second ago. I was saying this area here is really interesting on what it's showing on radar imagery. So this is 225, that Pasadena-LaPorte Freeway, Allendale, heading down to Ritchie in the city of South Houston. So this is basically, those of you over there around the South Houston and Pasadena area, a chance for hail. In fact, radar indicated 1-inch hail. So that puts you at severe hail criteria. So, you know, what's an inch? I mean, this is like ping pong ball potential. It doesn't mean it's hitting the whole area right now, but there's potential for that kind of hail. Also down here around the Sam Houston Tollway and Telephone Road, Pearland Parkway area, a chance for some large hail coming down. And that makes perfect sense based on that last image that I showed you here. This spike over here, right here, you see that? See this? That is the radar beam shooting through this potential hail that's coming down here around the Pearland area. So that is a concern. As far as the high winds, still looking at that potential around Pasadena where we see those bright colors, still looking at that potential over here around Sheldon and Crosby, where I think we probably have some high winds there. Again, here's that high wind indicator. We're looking for those bright red colors coming your way. So that is moving toward the community of Sheiks, right over Crosby. The red is indicating between 40 and 50. Where you see this pink coming in, that's where we're talking about maybe 60 miles an hour. Sheldon, Magnolia Gardens, back over to Barrett, and now increasingly so, Galena Park and Pasadena, and then maybe even the city of South Houston. And if you're watching us from Brookhaven, Sunnyside, 3rd Ward, back over to East Haven, Makawa, this is another area where you guys may be looking at winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour. Now, this imagery I know can look a little bit ugly sometimes, but I put it on there because it's just the best tool that I have right now for giving you the most accurate information as far as wind speeds. Again, here's another one where the bright greens are going to indicate those higher winds, moving right across that Telephone Road area in Makawa. And now this is right at Telephone and the Beltway. So this is south of Hobby Airport, moving its way in the general direction of Pearland. And this is going to show us just, again, a broader view of that leading edge of rain moving in. So if you're just joining us, guys, here's what we've got going on for you, all right? We have severe thunderstorms, a severe thunderstorm warning that is, let's see, that is currently in effect. Okay, it's been extended. See, I knew they were going to do that. So this severe thunderstorm warning here has now been extended for a really large area here. So this includes Harris County. So we're mainly looking at now the heaviest is moving from west to east at give or take about 40 miles per hour. Let's check on the latest indications of that. Let's see, it's moving. The latest severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for tons of counties, as I mentioned. So just pointing out some cities: Cleveland, Liberty, back to Humble and Kingwood, Baytown, Channelview, League City and Webster, Alvin, Pearland, Missouri City, all still under the severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect until 4:45. This is moving to the east now, and it has increased in wind speed up to about 55 miles per hour. And as I've been pointing out to you with all the different colors here on the map, that means that the wind speeds also could gust to higher than 55 miles per hour. So with this in mind, let me give you an idea of where the leading edge of this could be moving here over the next 15 minutes. So look for the leading edge of the high winds and the heavy rain around Dayton in 2 minutes. In Friendswood, about 3 minutes. Baytown, it's only about 5 or 6 minutes away. Webster and LaPorte, about 7 minutes. 8 minutes to Alvin. And then the Clear Lake area there, NASA area, in about 10 minutes. So Nassau Bay, El Lago, Taylor Lake Village, about 10 minutes from now. It is moving right into Pearland as well. The primary threat from this is going to be wind, with the secondary threat also being some pockets of hail that we need to be aware of. So severe thunderstorm warning there until 4:45. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the rest of Brazoria County, from Angleton, Lake Jackson down to Brazosport, and then all the way down to Matagorda Bay. That one's in effect for another 24 minutes. But this is the part that's really ramped up. I mean, this is the area of greatest concern as far as wind. Let me go ahead and put on this wind tracker here for you once again, because that is going to be the big threat, is going to be the wind. So let's follow the leading edge of this, and you'll see there how that first warning just expired, and we now have that second warning that's going in. So the highest winds right now making their way through Crosby and Barrett, but just if you're watching us from Highlands, just going into your area. If you're watching us from Baytown, within the next 5 minutes or so, that red area is getting ready to come in. That's the leading edge of the really high winds. Also around LaPorte, around Genoa, and Pearland, you're getting it right now. Let me go ahead and try to find for you some reports so that we can get an indication of what we're actually seeing here with these strong thunderstorms as they move into places like Bush Airport and Pearland and those places. So up at Intercontinental, we had a measured wind gust of 39 miles per hour. So that's not quite severe, but I mean, we're getting into that territory. Let's see, has Hobby Airport had a recent wind gust? Hobby reported 30 miles an hour. That's not too crazy, right? Sugar Land Airport reported 30 miles per hour. I know that doesn't sound too crazy either, but it certainly is, you know, an indication that this is high winds. I mean, look, the winds are high enough to have knocked out the power. So at this point, if you're just joining us, the latest update we have is that we currently have, just in the center point area, 162,000 customers without electricity right now. 162,000 without electricity. If you have electricity right now, by the way, in Baytown, it might go out. If you have electricity right now in Seabrook and Kemah, if you have electricity on in League City, if the electricity is still on in Friendswood, it might not be on for that much longer because you have that line of heavy rain and high winds moving in. By the way, real quick, if you are watching us right now, if you're waking up and joining us from Cypress or Katy, or even from Sugar Land, I'm not going to say you're in the clear, but the really nasty stuff has passed through. So even Missouri City, the nasty stuff has passed through. The Memorial Villages, Jersey Village, the Woodlands, you guys are out of the thick of it right now. And this whole big wave is actually going to be out of the area coming up by 4:45. This thing is moving at 55 miles per hour, which puts it into Liberty here within the next few minutes. The leading edge of this has this really ragged appearance to it. And even, you know, what happens with this is that you can get really short-lived rotating storms. I mean, like, for example, around Dayton right now, this is a slight indication. Now, if you're watching, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never heard of this place. I'm sorry, but Esperson, this is basically the Dayton area. This is a little indication of rotation right now. We don't have a warning issued for this one, but it might be just a really small kind of burst of wind there in this area off to the south of Dayton. We also have indications of some pretty high winds here around Highlands, and also some high winds around Deer Park. So these are, in fact, let me go ahead. I want to give you an idea here. This is Golden Acres, Deer Park. So here we are. This is Red Bluff Road near the Beltway on the east side of Houston. And we can get an idea of some of the highest wind speeds over there. How about 67 miles an hour? Now, this isn't what's being measured on the ground. This is how fast the droplets are moving, or the raindrops are moving. So that can mix down to the surface. And so if it's indicating 67 miles per hour and the raindrops are moving that fast, let's say 1,000 or 2,000 feet above the ground, maybe it's 40 or 50 miles per hour down at your house, but that's still pretty rough, isn't it? So that's what's been, you know, responsible, I think, primarily for knocking out the power. Of course, we also do have lots of lightning out there too. So this is the latest. If you are just joining us, guys, the latest is we have a severe thunderstorm, a line of severe thunderstorms that is moving through the area. It's coming through basically right in time of what we were expecting. Came in maybe a little earlier than expected, but we were talking about between 3 and 7. Here we are at 4:11 in the morning with a line of high winds moving into Liberty County, the east side of Harris County, getting in on really rough stuff right now. So the areas that I want you to know that are about to go downhill. See, the thing is, if it's pouring where you are right now, you don't need me to tell you it's raining outside. I mean, you know that it's pouring down rain. But the areas where it's moving in next will be places like Baytown. If you're watching us from the Baytown or Mont Belvieu area, we're talking about this here moving in for you within about the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you're watching us from LaPorte, it's about to move into your area within about the next 5 minutes. If you're watching us from Seabrook or Kemah, moving into your area, maybe within about the next 5 minutes. So prepare for the power to go out, because that's been so far the issue with this line system, as expected, was that the primary risk was going to be wind, the secondary risk being obviously heavy rain, but also some hail. Let me go ahead and put this on. This is going to be a close-up view of some of the potential wind speeds here around Friendswood. So here is West Bay Area Boulevard. This is West Main Street and the Gulf Freeway. So we're talking about those of you around the area of Friendswood and Webster, where we have that severe thunderstorm warning that continues, and the potential wind speeds are putting us in the neighborhood of about 60 miles an hour, 62. So this isn't necessarily what's happening at the ground, but it gives you an idea of what you could be seeing at ground level. 32, 48, 62, just getting ready to cross Gulf Freeway down there around Bay Area Boulevard. So that's enough to certainly catch your attention, I'm sure. The red indicates there where we have that clash, where the high winds are sort of meeting up with the heavy rain. Let's switch back here to this broad view. I want to check on what's happening up here. We did have that tornado warning that was in effect for San Jacinto County. All of that is passed. So as far as the current warnings, we only have severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't have any tornado warnings that are in effect right now. So that is good. But the severe thunderstorms are, it's knocking the power out. That's the main problem we have right now, is it is really knocking the power out. In Harris County right now, it's the east side that's getting the worst of it. So even around downtown, the medical center and the Heights and those spots, I know you guys have already, you probably don't have power. If you're listening to my voice right now, you're probably watching it on your phone on Fox Local. If you do happen to have power, via generator or something like that, your conditions are definitely getting better in those locations. Photographer Ed Lightburn is out on the roadways. Not exactly sure. We're gonna get a live report from Ed here coming up in just a little bit. Deer Park, LaPorte, this is zipping in your direction here really, really quickly. So this whole thing is zipping to the east at about 55 miles per hour. Here's another update for you here, guys. We're looking at El Lago, Taylor Lake Village, Seabrook, LaPorte, within the next 3 to 5 minutes. We're talking about the arrival of the high winds. Baytown, any minute now. I mean, we're talking about within the next 5 minutes or so. Cove in about 16 minutes, and then Anahuac in about 26 minutes. Those are the arrival times. So what are we talking about? What am I talking about? The arrival time of what? I'm talking about the arrival time of the higher winds. I know it's already raining for you in a lot of those locations. Up here into Liberty County, this is most likely, I mean, like I said, it's kind of making its way through Dayton right now with high winds. Liberty will be next on the list with high winds. League City, we most likely have some high winds coming in as well. Let me go ahead and turn this on. Let's see if I can get a good view here with the radar coming to us from northwest Harris County. This is kind of how far it is. This is really far away from the radar, so we're kind of shooting a little bit high up into the clouds here, but it still gives us an idea of some of the wind speeds that we're talking about here. 54, 57, 57. So this is the area around from the city of South Houston down to Clear Lake, Webster, and these spots. As far as getting down to neighborhood level, some of the worst of it is over here in the Clear Lake area. So, heavy rain here, Bay Area Boulevard, NASA Parkway. We're going to have the highest potential for winds of greater than 50 miles per hour, maybe some small hail coming down. You got the hail being driven by the high winds too, and so that can certainly cause some damage here for you. Still seeing heavy rain over here around the city of South Houston. And that is going to be hanging around here for about another, let me loop this. This is a 15-minute loop, by the way. I just want to give you an idea of how fast this is moving. I mean, this is where the line has moved just over the last 15 minutes. The good news is it's going to be out of here soon. Even, if you're in the city of Houston right now, it's going to be coming to an end very shortly as far as the severe weather threat. So that's good. The bad news is it comes along with that threat for seeing some really, heavy rain as well over on the east side. We have Welcome to the show. Welcome to Fox Local. Welcome to, if you happen to have power and you're watching us on the air, this is continuing coverage of severe weather here on Fox 26, where we have several advisories in effect, including a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Harris County. This is primarily southeast Harris County, east Harris County, northeast Harris County. This is in effect until 4:45, so less than 30 minutes. It's probably going to get canceled here, though, for Bel Air, for downtown Houston. That severe threat really is passing your area right now. If you're in Sugar Land or Missouri City, the severe weather threat is passing your area. It's basically coming to an end. So the concern right now is from Pearland and Friendswood back over to Clear Lake, League City, even Dickinson, I think, and then the 146 corridor from Kemah and Seabrook up to LaPorte and Baytown area. So that's where we have some of the heaviest rain coming in. Elsewhere across the area, I like to keep an eye on everybody because sometimes you can get little things that are spinning up. For example, I don't know, it's not for sure that this is a tornado on the ground or anything like that, but there is a little notch here that indicates that there could be some higher winds, coming out of this area, which is to the north of Cove and Mont Belvieu. So, like I said, there's not a tornado warning on that one, but there is some indication that it's definitely running on the hefty side. Now, when you get over here by League City, that's on top of the radar. So, to get a better view of it, let me go ahead and just switch imagery here. So here we go. Here's just another look at some of the heaviest of the rain that we have and just how fast it's moving through Deer Park and LaPorte and Seabrook. An update on the warning. Let's see, have we had any adjustments to the warning? Let me go ahead and check with the National Weather Service here. I have a live chat up from the National Weather Service, and I want to see if they've indicated anything new for us. All right, there was a storm report from the University of Houston, 59 miles per hour. So remember, it was not that long ago that I was telling you about those high winds moving through the 3rd Ward area and the Museum District area. And so, their automated report there from the University of Houston area of 59 mile per hour winds. We haven't had any new severe thunderstorm warnings issued. We did earlier this morning have a couple of tornado warnings issued. There was one from the Cypress and Tomball area, and there was another one that was up around the Cleveland area. We don't currently have any tornado warnings in effect. And for right now, given the speed that this thing is moving, it's going to be out of Harris County here shortly. And the focus will shift to Liberty and Chambers County and also down around Brazoria County as well. This warning down here is going to expire soon too. Let me see, the Brazoria warning expires in 8 minutes. Really doesn't look too terribly bad down there. There's mostly heavy rain here for you. But I do think the worst of it there is going to be there from League City to Baytown. Let me check out here Baytown for you because I want to see if there's any indication that you could be seeing some hail there. I bet there could be some mixed in there. So, okay, so here we go. So radar is indicating for LaPorte and for Clear Lake and for Webster that there could be hail as large as an inch. I believe that's what we're looking at there. Yeah, so 1 inch hail. So again, this isn't like somebody on the ground telling you that there's large hail hitting, but it tells you that at least within the cloud, along Fairmont Parkway, Spencer Highway, between Beltway 8 and 146, that potential is there for some of the big hail to be coming down. So what does that mean for you? It means stay put. It means, stay away from the windows of your home and things like that. It's going to be completely unsafe for you to go out right now and move the car or anything like that. Red Bluff Road, again, this is down here to Red Bluff and Highway 146. There's El Lago and NASA Parkway, also an area where there's potential hail here on our hail detector. That the purple area indicates the potential for half-inch hail. So you're talking a little bit more like penny sized, I suppose, which is certainly not a picnic either, but it's not considered severe hail. All of this is moving toward Kemah and Clear Lake shores too. So right now, Webster, then to the north of Leak City and on Marina Bay Boulevard, there's going to be potential for some of that really heavy rain coming down. Now the radar imagery, I'm telling you right now, it's going to look a little bit messy. I'm going to try to clean it up the best I can. I know that's going to look really messy here for you, but let me go ahead and see if I can make it look just a little bit easier to interpret here. The bright colors that you're seeing there, you see we're like here on, let's see, we're taking you up here to Seabrook. So Seabrook and Kemah right now are areas that are getting heavy rain and also probably some hail mixed in there, and we're seeing these kind of that pink kind of purple color. That's the really, really high reflectivity that's coming back from the radar. And let me just, I'm going to just for my own sake kind of click on this. Okay, so 61 dBz, that's very heavy rain / hail. That's possible there. LaPorte, Morgan's Point, Baytown, I'd say there's probably a pretty good chance for seeing hail there as well, with a lower risk here around Pearland and Humble. If you are right in Houston, I would just mainly be aware of the fact that there might be some street flooding, but I don't think a ton of it. I want to pull up here and give you some rainfall totals, just to give you an idea of maybe where there could be some trouble areas. So overall, we had in the Sugar Land area, we've had about 1.5 inches of rain. Downtown Houston had about 1 inch. Galleria area and Bel Air had about 1.5 inches of rain. So it came down really fast, but not enough to really cause any serious flooding. So I'm not telling you that it's a picnic out there right now, but it really is in Houston itself. We got a lot of heavy rain and the power is out, but I don't think we're going to have really any big problems of flooding at this point. The outage tracker has shown tons of people without power. The latest is, and this is just Centerpoint, 163,500. These are not quite hurricane numbers, but I mean, there's a lot of people without power, 163,000 customers. This includes Harris County, Fort Bend County, parts of Brazoria County. So this is a lot of City of Houston area, a lot of Richmond, Rosenberg, Sugar Land, Greens Point, Humble. A lot of these areas are without power right now. So I want to welcome you if you're joining us on our Fox Local app, because this is the way to get information when the power goes out. Let's take a look at the last hour, and I think you'll be able to see here just how fast this thing has torn its way through the area. So this is a 1 hour loop. So an hour ago, the heavy line of rain was all the way over on the west side, all the way over in West Chase and just Memorial City. And now over the last hour, it's all the way over in Baytown. And it's going to keep rocketing in that direction. So I think probably the next 15 minutes are going to be, really just, go time for those of you in LaPorte and Baytown down to Kemah and Seabrook, and we'll have improving conditions across much of the city of Houston as well. So again, at this point, and if you don't mind guys, I think at 4:30, if we can go ahead and wrap things up. We don't have any tornado warnings right now. The severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire to the south of Houston at 4:30. The area of really heavy rain is exiting, or will be soon exiting, Harris County. So, I think we're sort of at that point where y'all know the deal. We're going to have heavy rain, a chance for Hail for Baytown, Seabrook, Kemah, LaPorte. That'll move out fast. Watch out central Galveston County, League City, Dickinson. Chance for heavy rain and some hail there. And all of this should be dramatically improving in the greater Houston area by 5 o'clock, within the next 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here for you guys. Remember, Fox 26 Morning News weekends will be beginning at 5 a.m. And of course, we'll have the latest on this. But I'm telling you, by 5:30, we could be looking at really dramatically quiet